Happy birthday.
Today I turned 25. That sounds huge.
Happy
I never
birthday.
imagined there'll be a day. I never imagined there'll be a day where I actually turned 25 years old. When I was little, and I hear people at 25, I think they're so big. And now that person is me. Like, wow. So
Crazy.
it's been a ritual to have people who are very close to me and have worked with me in some capacity interview me on my birthdays every year. This sets a precedent for me to actually reflect, and I look at this like a documentary in 10, 15 years' time. I watch this and I see where I was when I was 25 years old. I think this has been the best way to keep track, because other people are talking about their experiences with me in their own lens. And today I have the most amazing people.
I am Muhammad Kuka, his very good friend.
I'm Naomi Sani.
Batul Hassan.
Well, I prefer to call her Nawal, Miss
Nawal.
Hassan. Yeah, so each of you should first of all talk about how you met me, then we go. So how did you meet Akachukwu?
I can remember I was in the library, right? And at the time, I started my own YouTube channel. So the only people that were watching my YouTube channel were just two people, just my friend and my roommates at the time. So I was looking for like creatives that are actually doing this thing like in real life. And that time, it was like a strange phenomenon to see someone with a tripod and a professional camera sitting in front of it and talking. So I was like, who is this guy? Who is this guy doing this thing so confidently, like without even, caring about what people are saying? Because at the time, the reason why I didn't go public was I was very conscious about what people thought. So I met this guy like, what are you doing? I was like, I have a YouTube channel. I was like, I see my followers. So I was like, yeah. So it's like ever since that day, and through the conversation we had, he ran me through what he was doing and telling me through what I was doing mine. I was like, now this guy is someone that has the vision that I have, especially for the fact that he has the confidence to do it amongst teenagers that time, yes, he got a lot of heat for it, but he still pursued his dreams, and here we are today, man.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, G.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I met Akachukwu virtually first and then in person. So Adana was supposed to, shout out to Adana, she was supposed to come to AUN for the Our Heritage program, and I had filled the form and they were making a video to push out for publicity, and so they asked me to make the video, and Akachukwu had commented on the video that was made, and then the comment was sent to me. So that's the first impression I had of Akachukwu. And then the second one was after filling the forms, and it was time to select people who were going to show up for the program, and then he interacted with me about like my application and wanted to find out more about everything, and he was so enthusiastic, so energetic. But the one thing that I remember is that he never remembered anyone's name, so he'd be like okay, what's your name again? What's your name again? This person's friend. But he remembers my name now, so yay.
The first time I met Akachukwu was actually at the cafeteria, which he might not remember.
I met you at the airport.
No. Okay, yes, I did meet him at the airport before then.
The same flight.
At the airport. We were on the same flight on my way to Yola, my first time in Adamawa State.
Wow.
I came with my mom, and then as we were going to get our bags, we saw this guy and he asked us, oh, you're also going to AUN? And we said yes. And then he asked what I was studying. And I said computer. No, and then my mom said computer science. And then his first reaction was, AI is going to take your job.
Lol. That's crazy.
My mom just turned and looked at him. What? That was so not an encouraging thing to say, especially since I was new.
Yeah.
He was like, no, AI is definitely taking your job. And he was so confident saying it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay. And then I saw him again at the cafeteria. He forgot that he met me at the airport. Yeah, we met at the cafeteria. I was with
Amna?
Amna.
I didn't forget I met you. I remembered.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I was with Amna. We were talking, and then he just came and randomly sat down.
And we had lunch together.
We had lunch together, and he kept talking and talking and talking. I'm like, wow, he's he's really confident in himself and who he is. So I quite like that about you.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
I'm glad that people have good things to say about me. I don't know, but when I came to AUN, I had 3 main goals in mind. I wanted to do well. No, not academically. I wanted to continue my podcast here, but ultimately I wanted to have the founder of my podcast, number 1. Number 2, I wanted to go for the exchange program to America. And number 3, I wanted to find a wife.
A wife from the north.
Specifically. Yeah.
I see how I'm laughing about that one. How that one is going. I don't really know.
We'll get to that as
so basically, Kukawa, Naomi, and Miss Hassan Nawal be covering the themes and exploring various aspects of my life. Today, I'm not the one doing the asking, I'm doing the answering today. So, you have the stage, everyone.
Okay. My segment is concerning purpose, like finding your purpose and comparing our previous episode with the episode that we have now. The last episode we had with you was when you were, I think, 23.
Yes, time flies.
That was 2 years ago. How time flies indeed. So I asked you all are invited to answer too. So the first one concerning purpose is, how would you define your purpose, your mission? Especially now they've turned into a new chapter. 25 is a big milestone.
And the prefrontal cortex is the more developed.
Yeah.
Biologically.
Yeah. So how would you define it for yourself?
I think there's a question there, like everyone tries to understand better and understand more as they age. I can't definitely tell you my purpose in life is to make people better public speakers or to be a philanthropist. So I think it evolves. But for now, I think my purpose is becoming myself fully. And when I mean by myself fully, doing all the things I want to do. This is my last semester at AUN. This is my 7th semester. And it's been a ride, but it's a beautiful one. So I think at this point is becoming extremely wealthy because you can only do so much good in the world with a lot of wealth. Forget all those stuff that they say. If you don't have money, you're not wealthy, you can basically do nothing. So my purpose for now, making lots of money with all the skills I've acquired over the years. And then in future, because I really admire the Gates Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, and I can see Rockefeller died how many years ago? Yeah. And its impact is still here today, it's still visible, giving students like you and me scholarships and lots of medical researches. And I'm like, wow, you can actually create massive impact across continents because you built wealth, right? So fully targeted at making so much money now. Yeah, thanks. My purpose now is make money and then give back.
Then give back. That's true. But there's someone right now that, let's say, is just coming up. He wants to start developing their own skills. You want to find their why. How do you advise that person to, start?
I once told my friend Loretta that genuinely I think life is an experiment. Use yourself as an experiment. Do every single thing that's in your head, especially when you're young, because you have the energy and you have less to lose, right? And I think that's what has guided me. So wherever I'm trying to find their why, you start by experimenting and exploring and not caring about people's views on that experiment. Because if you harbor their views too much, you won't really do much. Like I'll say how I just told him, and I'm that free. I didn't really care about consequences. And I think that's why I've actually done a whole lot in a very short time. Because consequences were secondary to me. It was more about me doing. Keep doing. People always talk, psh, psh, psh. So if you want to find your why, you go out, do things, you sit back and see the ones that you actually did better in, and you reflect, does it align with your personality and all of that. Yeah, I think that's the easiest way. All of these things are just mere theories. Genuinely, you go out and you do things. You get real time live actually punches you, and then by the time you do things over and over again, you can also see patterns. Oh, I think I'm good at speaking, or I think I'm good at, and then that's your why,
Yeah. So my last question for now before I give Naomi the baton is, what quotes do you have for the audience watching? What quotes do you want them to Yeah.
It's a quote by Viktor Frankl, and I've said this so many times in different speaking gigs I've been engaged in. Viktor Franklin was actually sent to a concentration camp, and what kept him moving was the love he had for his wife. And this quote is simply, he was basically taken by the Soviet Union, right? Good. And his quote went, was this Soviet Union, the Nazi? Sorry, the Nazi. Hitler's camp. Yeah, this quote is, he who has a why can bear almost anyhow. And I've seen this regurgitate over time in my personal life. But that why is not fully defined yet.
Yes.
But I just know that I am meant to go out there and do good things and beautiful things, and I have the energy to do them. So why not? But the why, so we're extremely well to be successful, yeah, but it's not fully defined yet, genuinely. And I just feel I'm going out there to do things because my personality allows for that. Yeah, but if any could actually leave to anyone, he who has a why can be almost anyhow. So have your why so strongly, and regardless of the obstacles, you definitely overcome.
100%. 100%.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mohammed. Speaking about purpose, we're just going to purchase on that a little bit more. Something you said about experimenting, I think it's really important to do that as well. But also, we've had people come before us for a reason. We've had people experience things before us for a reason. So I feel like as much as we should try to seek experiences for ourselves, it's also really important to make sure that we're learning and we're picking up what we can from other people. So if there's a hole in the ground, why would 10 people fall in the same hole when the remaining 9 people can just learn from the first person who has fallen in the hole? So I think it's important to also pick up experiences and learnings from other people as well as putting yourself out there.
Yeah, maybe I didn't elaborate enough because I'm a very big fan of books. Lots of people, when you know, I read a lot of books, especially philosophy. I read Nietzsche, Marcus Aurelius, about Camus, Kant, and then some of the modern writers like Ryan Holiday, Mark Manson, and the rest. So I'm really big in reading books because, by the way, Nietzsche, this guy's quote I mentioned now, Viktor Franklin, he is dead long ago, and I read this from his book, Man's Search for Meaning. So I'm big on reading books as well as having mentors, people who have been there, gone there before you. But I feel having mentors and reading books is passive knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, don't just passive, you're just absorbing passive knowledge. You can only put that to the test when you go out there and try.
But it's very important that you consume that knowledge. It's very important.
But if you're extroverted like me, I consume that knowledge to stay grounded. So I don't do things that would not yield good results for me. Right? It grounds me because I'm high energy and I can actually do stuff. So I take in those knowledge to actually calm down. Like, let me give an example. When I was reading Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, there's a quote I saw. He would like, after a game, a wrestle match, you don't start questioning the umpire after you've been beaten by your opponent. So you take your loss or whatever, you respect the game and you go. In lots of events, there was an event I was in and they told me, Akachukwu, you can't actually stand up, you have to sit down. He invited me to talk. He told me, this is not the format, I have to sit down and I cannot present my slides. I spent so much time preparing. And then I thought about that. Respect the game. You just sit down. And apart from that, people are watching you. They're looking up to you. Like, people look up to me I have realized that Akachukwu is like a symbol of high energy and consistency around. Like, people like, I'm always seeing this guy cheerful. So even when I'm down emotionally, stress-wise, etc., this guy is out there and he's still doing things. How? So like, if I look down, how about all of that? They're looking at this individual for strength. What happens to that core that where this individual was like the epitome? It kind of crumbles.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say that with purpose, it's dynamic, changing every day, constantly evolving. What would you say pushes you to show up every day? What would you say is the one thing, or what are the things that make you show up every day? Like we spoke about the why. Have you been able to identify those key things or key factors that push you to show up every day to achieve the things that you want to achieve?
Yeah, earlier, thank you for that question. I really like it. Earlier, it was about filling my CV. When I mean CV, I don't mean the paper and pen. No, I mean like documenting all of these, I'm showing that I'm worthy of lots of opportunities. But now it's more deeper. It's more like Akachukwu is the leader. And people are now looking up to you to see how they will act, and even how they will govern their lives. I see lots of some messages of people send me, and like they're looking at this individual to learn, right? And that's what pushes me, because I'm like, people are learning. You're a leader. People are looking up to you, and your decisions and your actions guide how they orientate themselves,
100%.
how they orient themselves. Like, I think the public speaking club, 2 classes the last week, the mystic class, right? And I told cooks that this cannot happen, because we cannot let them have this mindset of escapism, that you commit to everything in life and that's how you win. So now what actually governs me is that the people that are watching, and this is the leader. And the Bible says you learn more from people's actions than their words. And I do a lot of talking, right? So I don't think the talk is necessary at this stage. Like, people should actually see. He's an embodiment of what he says. Yeah. I think that's it. There are people watching, and that's it.
I think that's really beautiful. Before I pass it over to Ms. Hassan, has there been anything, any decision or anything that you've done that you've taken a step back and been like, maybe I shouldn't have done that? And how did it reinform your future?
Can you give me an example? If you answer that question, what would you say?
An example could be, I took my shirt off outside. Like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, that didn't put me out in a good light. Just an example, like, not necessarily in relation to that, but just off the top.
Mine would be very, very extreme, one example. But I'm not the kind of person that has regrets. Right? I do things and I'm like, okay, you've done that. What can you take from this?
Absolutely.
Well, you know what, the academic registry advising some days ago, one woman looked at me like, Akachukwu, you look like someone that will have multiple wives. When she said that, I'm like, she was like, you look like someone that you don't want people to stress you. If person A is not coming forth, you just call you, go, hey, chica. Like, how does this man know all of these? But let me tell you why I brought that up. And don't forget, I started this to say that one of my goals was to find a wife. And I think I came to the wrong school, genuinely. I'm saying this on camera because, like, this is a documentary of my life, either way. I'm very extroverted. And I have energy. Clearly. And I was completely attracted to the people opposite temperament as me, the calm and the gentle ones. And most of them were from the north, the Muslims. And most of them tell me, Akachukwu, my dad didn't accept you. It is a Mohammed and Akachukwu. If push comes to shove, although Akachukwu loves you, although Akachukwu loves you more, who would you choose? They told me they would choose Mohammed. And I kept doing this for semester 1, second semester,
3,
third semester, 4th semester.
Very specific.
And like, just like that, my time is up. And I've not found the person.
But there's still hope.
Yeah, maybe. So that's why I brought about that. Anything that I told the student, this guy, he asked me, what advice should I give him? I said, leave the Muslim girls alone. He's Christian. So I think, I won't say I regret per se, but I can genuinely sit down and realize that I've actually seen better. So I don't settle for ladies that are not the embodiment of what I've seen in the Muslim girls. When it comes to calmness, decency. Of course, not all Muslim girls have all those traits. Some they are British, but the ones that I'm actually interactive with, Nafisa.
No comment.
They don't know who they are.
I know them.
You don't know Nafisa?
Which Nafisa?
Yes, you can know her.
You don't know that.
You can know her.
Is he talking about the twins?
No.
Okay.
Nafisa, Nawal. Who else? There been so many of them, and I really enjoyed their presence. And I was like, maybe I'm in the wrong location. Because if I was in Lagos, Abuja, or America, I was meeting other people, you know? And I don't know how to say if that's a regret or not a regret, but let's leave it at that.
Do you think if you were a bit more, because clearly you had like a specific ideal in your head, do you think if you were a bit open-minded to the idea of other people, you might have found your wife in AUN?
Open? What do you mean by open?
Like I said, you have like a specific ideal, like in your head, that you're looking for? Like you mentioned, calm. You're clearly more attracted to the northern girls. Clearly looking for those specific things that while it's good to have those specific things that you look for in people, like those specific characteristics, do you think you might have found them in someone else who might not have appeared that way on the outside?
Who might be Christian? Is that what you're saying?
No, not necessarily.
Well, okay. Yeah. Let me answer this question. My personal experience once again. There was a girl I saw, she was Christian. I told her my intentions. You know what this girl told me? That she's not really this one, that one. A few days later, I saw her with some other guy. I saw them again and again. I'm like, what's this rubbish? Like,
I think we'd have to, when we come back, I think we'd have to do a relationship segment after Nawal
why do you like girls that are not like you?
Yeah.
If you like yourself so much, why wouldn't you want a person that is like you?
So imagine if my brain is very hot and I'm shouting, there's someone to just touch my head. Oh, my husband.
Lol.
Literally, that's the answer to the question. That's the answer to the question, you know? Yeah, two people cannot be hot at the same time.
Two people can be hot at the same time, but it doesn't always have to be the extreme opposites.
Exactly.
It's simply
it doesn't have to be hot and cold.
Yeah, but you know, people I go for are actually those who are very strong on their values, right? People who are calm, they're actually like really, really certain on what they want in life. Good. It doesn't take away from their firmness in heart. The fact that they're just temperamentally calm doesn't mean that they're not stubborn in certain areas. It's just that they are calm temperamentally. I think it ends there, and that alone is what I like. That with decency and smartness, and
well, since you like girls, we should move from that, right?
Yeah, your segments. Let's cover.
We should.
Okay, Mr. Madueke, since you like calling me Miss Hassan, how would you say you are transitioning from student Akachukwu to graduate Akachukwu?
Students who graduate. Can you throw more light on that question?
How are you working on, you're going to graduate very soon, so what changes are you making to transition easily or smoothly into becoming a graduate and moving from that student life that you're so used to?
It all boils down to making money in the end. I'm trying to establish businesses in the mineral sector, mining exploration, and we have some buyers in China and Germany, and other industries like farming, sending some exports. And a few months ago, we had a holding meeting trying to establish a holding company which has some verticals in farming, maritime servicing, mineral exploration, and finally real estate. So that's what I'm looking at. I think, and I hope that my energy and my consistency will see me through. So that's the only way I'm transitioning, because I think as you make the money, you get more clarity on the next step, you know.
How would you say your podcast, your page is going to change after you become a graduate?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And that question, it's still like cooks and lots of people ask me about, Akachukwu, your YouTube, like you're not so active like that there. What's the plan? I'm like, oh, okay. The truth is, at this stage, I've done lots of the behind the scenes work and also in front of the scenes. And now all I want to be in a financial state where all I need to do is to just walk into a studio, sit down in front of the camera and interview my guest and have that video up in like 2-3 days without my direct input. I don't want to be handling the post-production, the editing, or the studio setup. But I'm not wealthy enough yet to have that type of
people.
Yeah, a whole lot of people, so much people.
Hence the holding company.
Just that comes into, and then even the media segment of the company, interviewing founders across different sectors in Africa, asking them how they got there, how they made it, and then by doing that, we're attracting other founders and we're highlighting things that we're doing here in Africa. Because in the end, all I want to do is harness our resources, export them, receive foreign exchange, invest back here, and give back over here. The idea of Japan, like, really, what are you going there to do when we have so much wealth that has been untapped here? So that's how I look at the my podcast, basically my whole media presence has just been like a resume, a digital resume to show what this individual can do. So at this stage, I don't really talk too much about it and convince people to, okay, just this is my Instagram, this is my link. Okay, I did this, and so send the link of the activities I did. You see videos and pictures, because it kind of represents me and it represents what you are looking for better than anything I might say or whatever I write in my CV that could be a lie.
That's true. Well, Akachukwu, that's really good. Another question I have is, you say you're a very intentional person and you do a lot of things with intention, right? So moving forward, what intentions have you set for yourself, your future self?
You know, during the holiday, I was reading Rockefeller's 38 letters to his son, if I'm correct, it's 38 letters. I hope it's not more than that. So, and, you know, the book, did I send it to you? Okay. So, J.J. Rockefeller was the oil guy, the guy who had the biggest refineries in America. And I could see there was some sort of timeline in his life that he set to achieve things. In my 20s, you do things, in the 30s, you do this, in your 40s, you do this. And then what I did? I went to ChatGPT. Like, okay, design my life till I die. The 20s, the 30s, the 40s.
So you don't have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. You have a whole life plan.
Exactly. Yeah. At 60, I should just be giving back, touring around. I've written books. I've done lots of seminars. I've given lectures. I've filmed on YouTube that people can see and look up to, because at the 20s, you fill the resume and I've dabbled into some businesses and I've realized what actually works and what doesn't work. And then in my 30s, I harness on these things, hold them strongly and keep punching and keep punching and keep punching. And in my 40s, this is the time for massive investments in different sectors. Like my 50s, I'm talking about legacy, my children. And that main motivation, making money genuinely, I want my children to have the best life.
100%.
You cannot do so much. You cannot do so much for your kids if you have no cash or little money. You can't give them the best experiences. You can't expose them maximally. And I'm so intentional about this aspect, because imagine if my dad didn't work hard to be where he is. Would I be able to have these experiences? And I know if he was wealthier, I'd have way more experiences, which would make me a richer human being, and I'll be able to give back better, because I've seen things from different areas, different cultures, and I can actually this works, this doesn't work. In fact, I think you'll be way more gentle and you have a better approach towards life, the more exposed you are. You cannot be exposed without wealth.
That's the word, exposure. You get a lot of exposure from it.
You see, like there's a lot of young parents who have children. I read a lot of these, and older parents are always saying that the kind of experiences that they give their children, the younger parents cannot give that to their children. It boils down to making money. So, that question, did I do justice to your question, or should I answer it again?
You did justice to my question. I've learned that you have a whole life plan instead of a 5-year plan like some people.
Yeah, 5 years is very short. Before you just blink, that's the time it takes for Tinubu to come to power and leave, and then 1 more year. It's a very short time.
I think it's something people should also plan ahead. Planning is really good. Once you plan things, you kind of you manifest it, and it happens most of the time. Even 100%. If it does not happen how you want it to, it happens one way or the other. You get what you want.
Also, the good thing about planning is that when you plan and the opportunity comes, it's like
planning meeting opportunity. Just like Unubu soup and
it's nice.
Same.
But also, I would also emphasize that even as you plan, I think for me, one important thing that I've learned from life is things happen when you don't expect them to. And you need to be open to receive that. You need to be open to allow them happen when they do want to happen. Because we can be stubborn in our will sometimes. And you end up hindering yourself from experiencing things that you should have experienced just because you were sticking to this specific locked-in plan. So while plans are important and while they're good, it's okay to allow life happen sometimes and just go with the flow sometimes.
But if life, maybe the cocoa is your ability to bounce back fast.
Yeah.
Like once as life's happening, you shouldn't be depressed for the next 2-3 years because you're stalling other goals. You should like find. I don't know. I always emphasize people should find a grounding. What grounds you as an individual? It could be your spirituality, God, the God factor. It could be your family. It could be just something. There should be a source of your bounce back, because the truth is that life keeps throwing different things at you, and if you just collapse and like say, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. What then happens? Your ability to actually like fall and rise up immediately, like you're running as a child, and you fall and you get injured, you stand up immediately and you keep going. I think that's how life should be, genuinely.
So for these 7 semesters that you've been in AUN, what can you say is your grounding thing?
Yeah,
what grounds you? What grounds Akachukwu?
The truth is that, I want to make my parents and my siblings very proud. I think that's number one. There's a family, I'm the first one, and there's a family name to uphold, right? And this family legacy and family name will echo everywhere. Because, let's imagine a situation here. That's Akachukwu, Dana's brother, or Jinaza's sister and brother, and you don't have a good conception of that individual. You wouldn't have a good conception of his sister or anything associated with him.
Yeah.
So there's a family name to uphold. And like when my dad dies, like I'm next in line, and I really think deeply about that. You have a family name to uphold. Uphold it well. Secondly, the Bible says a good reputation is better than silver and gold. And a good reputation is wealth in every sense of the word. I didn't like that whenever people talk about me, regardless of if some people say, he's so loud, he's so out there, I don't hear bad things. And I'm like, so probably I've upheld that.
Right choices.
Yeah, so I think that's just it.
Yeah.
The family name, as well as knowing consciously that a good reputation is better than whatever material stuff you might want to acquire temporarily, maybe by cheating people or whatever. I just know good reputation trumps all of that. So, let's continue.
You're telling us about your experiences with each of us and how they have shaped you.
Yeah. How my experiences with each person here shaped me.
Yeah.
Naomi.
Or how we've impacted in your journey.
Or something you've
contributed.
taken from us.
Naomi is very feisty. Shouldn't agree.
Okay.
Naomi, I'm like, just accept. like my head.
That's a good thing though.
Yeah, I know, but
And you're also like that, mind you.
good.
I think that's why we clash. But it's a good thing.
Can you see it now? The wall.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
He's talking about.
Okay. I
Moving
can
on.
see that, but then I feel it's more fun that way.
Now people like, how about we test to eat this Akachukwu? No, it's
Okay,
not.
like we're definitely not compatible in that way because like I have things that
Strong
like
opinions.
strong opinions, and I don't believe in dropping my opinions for another person's opinion. I believe in making adjustments, definitely, like, oh, I see this from your point of view, we can make certain changes, but I don't believe in changing my
About a
entire
middle
opinion
ground.
just because
Middle ground.
the thing is, a lot of times a middle ground can be achieved, but a lot of times the other party isn't really ready to come out of their stance. So it's like, it seems like a middle ground, but you're going farther away from your
Actually,
values than they are.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
But like everything about relationships basically is compromise. So sometimes I compromise some things to suit you, and sometimes
But
you should
again,
compromise.
I feel being the girl, you should compromise too. Like the guy should compromise.
That's what I'm saying.
You're,
It takes two to tango, you know.
it takes two
It
to
should be
tango. but
sacrificed from
would you-
both parties.
Should I
Yeah,
tell you a story?
Sure.
I told the girl that I don't know what this is meant to be off camera, but maybe when I'm editing, I'll take it out.
Okay.
I told the girl like I don't like the idea of you wearing bum shorts, this one down. But she told me her body had choice. I'm like, God.
It is her body, her choice.
Yeah, but like people have different opinions on these things. If you ask older women their views,
Okay.
even if you ask some other ladies too at our age, so
That's why their opinions, your personal opinions, like just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean that thing has to be that way.
And that doesn't mean you have to voice it out.
Exactly. Sometimes it's best to actually just, yeah. Like it's okay to express. I'm not one to like say you should suppress your how you feel. But for example, let's say I wish this plant was purple. Or let's say I didn't like plants at all. Like let's say I don't like plants. Does that mean you should take away the plant just because I don't like plants? Or the plant should change its color to purple just because I don't like...
Or maybe you take out the leaves and bring yellow leaves.
The plant should be the plant. I can find another plant that's purple.
So that's what I'm saying. Oh, okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get a whole different approach.
Okay.
Yeah. No. No.
It's Hassan.
Yeah.
Mr. Madueke.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying that correctly?
However you pronounce it, it's fine.
Okay. If you could describe the version of yourself you've become since your last birthday, how would you go about that? And have you reinvented yourself? Are you more you, or have you changed more things to become more you? Do you understand what I mean?
Well, that question is very layered. If I should compare myself to my last birthday.
Yes, to your last birthday. The version of yourself. Mm-hmm.
The truth is that 1 year is really too small to change subtle things in your life. Like, what do you want to change in 1 year? Like, for real, like, what would you change in 1 year?
1 year could change a lot.
Like,
even
give me
a
an
year
example.
could change a lot.
Give me an example. What would you change?
You could
People
die.
die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People give birth, so life, death,
Okay,
circumstances.
None of my relations have died. Like, no.
You could step into a greater understanding of yourself within you.
So, like, no one has died around me. None of my family members are giving birth. I've not really had substantial, like, biological changes around me that will change me. Like, there's been no extreme shock. So,
what feels new about you? I mean, you've definitely met new people who have changed your view on the world and life in a whole, right? So
Have you?
What feels new?
Nothing?
I think you guys should better, people who have met me for and know me for about a year should answer that question.
That what?
What feels new about me a year ago versus now?
Gaskiya, the time that I knew Akachukwu, you were into, I think now you're doing more of leadership. I think now you're trying to make it more of an impact thing. As you said, like when we're coming up, when we're doing all these things, us being in the field, gathering content, spending hours editing content, misplacing hard drives and all those things. You know, I think now you stepped into a leadership position as well, like giving impact with your work with the, public speaking club, and other ventures. Yeah.
And I would also say that you finally learned something called personal space. You respect people's space more than you did.
I agree.
Even a few months back, yeah. You literally knew nothing about personal space. It was just my way or no way at all. But now I feel you ask, you try to reflect on yourself and change a few things. So I feel that's actually a good thing. You're learning.
Let me ask you a question?
Evolving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Akachukwu, what type of friend would you say you are? And how do you show up for the people that matter most to you?
I invited to my room to cook Indomie with
Play
egg
Mortal Kombat.
and play Mortal Kombat. Some days ago, I tested cooks. Come, let's play Mortal Kombat.
Randomly.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cute.
No. Yeah, based on what Nawal said on personal space and this, I had an experience, I think, in my first or second semester. The girl Zainab. Can never forget this experience.
Abubakar.
It was not Abubakar, Zainab Buka. So we were having a class and I wanted to ask her to help me with an animation. She told me she was sitting down on the chair and I just got so close. She told me Akachukwu personal space. Victor, I texted that. What do you mean by personal space? Like, you're so into me and this and that. Oh, like, okay, sorry, blah, blah, that one. And then I realized that certain cultures, there are different types of cultures.
100%.
There's highly masculine cultures, highly feminine cultures, cultures that are more open. There's this guy, his name is, I can't remember his name at the moment, Hofstede. Yeah, Hofstede's cultural dimensions. So he went around different countries. He was an IBM worker and got different skills of people around the globe. Mexico, people who they are like more prone to, they're more open, they like dancing. We have more feminine, etc. But the cocoa is this. Here in the north, I was an anomaly when I came because they're very conserved here. They're very conservative and they like their space and they like calmness and gentleness. And Akachukwu stood for everything that was not that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I could clearly see someone like, this guy is so arrogant and this, and even if you don't say it to my face, maybe just by their body language. Now, as a communication major, and I've been doing podcasts for a long time, podcasting, and I've filmed lots of people, I tend to watch people's body language more now. I realize that maybe when you look somehow, or okay, just when you try to hug a girl and she's doing like this, stop. Like, she doesn't even say anything. Good. So I just realized that if people are not aligned biologically, stop it. Just leave them alone. Because nothing will actually seem, in fact, they can't even absorb you. So I tend to pay more attention now to energy and body language than words. You don't tell me that you're fine and I'm seeing that your face is cranky or...
Yeah, those micro expressions
so
actually say a lot.
Yes, I think it's what podcasting and age does too. And at this point, I really don't try to be liked. I've never really cared about that much, but I just discarded the whole concept because I realized that humans are fickle. Yeah. Today you can like me, tomorrow you can hate me, right? That's just how it is. So why not just have a constant persona? People know this guy, don't do that. He will hurt you. He will bite you, regardless of who you are. Than trying to... Well, at the same time, the truth is that life is all about dynamism and adaptability. There is something that goes, it's not the bravest or the strongest who survive. It's the most adaptable to change the environment where he or she finds himself. So I got
that. Just remember who said that quote.
Charles Darwin. So now I'm in the north. It's not like I try to fit into them. But lately I wear a lot of kaftans. It's called acculturation. Oh. I try to look more like the people who I am around. Some guy used to tell me, Akachukwu, you look more like us. Then another day he said, you now look better than us. Like I'm dressing way better than they would in their own attire. I think to get into many people, you have to look like them. Let me tell you another thing I noticed. So Muslim girls will not let you film them or shoot them, like a podcast with them, whatever. But when they see that their friends have been featured in your podcast, they will be the ones approaching you. So my first few semesters, as you highlighted now, leadership, it was more people like, no. But now it's like I'm the magnet. They're like, Akachukwu, come, let's do this. Yeah, like, because they've seen that this guy has done this.
Allow your girlfriend to...
We'll get to that.
That's a no.
No.
Yeah.
That's a no. That's an immediate no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now basically people are like, I'm like the magnet that people are everyone they just come and let's do this, let's do that, and these are people like, before it was as if it was me that was going, but now it's the other way around, and I'm not the one like rejecting. I'm so sorry, but I don't have time for this.
Hot cake.
Hot. That's the word. Hot.
Like this one, that one. But I want to say something earlier. In my first few semesters, I was very, very, very aggressive towards pursuing extreme goals. Like in my first semester, I applied to be SG president.
It was the dream campaign.
I didn't know they sent me an email. They are Akachukwu. Yeah, I've only been there. He has to have been the SG. At least 1 year.
Yeah.
That was where it ended. I don't think I ever tried again. But now, there was a student that told me, Obina, because then I wanted to be the president studying with you, and I told them if I'm not president or vice president, I'll leave. And they didn't make me either. So I left. So this was my first semester here. So because I knew what I would have brought. This was my first semester going to my second semester. I joined them lots of shoots and the rest. I had to transform the whole thing, and I left. And this Obina guy said that whatever you want to do in this school, you achieve it better on an individual level than with an organization. it took time for that to sink in, and I just focused on my own self and my own stuff, my own YouTube and every other thing I was doing. But now I realized, okay, Akachukwu, you have done this and you've actually been really good at this over time. I think it's time to give back.
You have to build.
Yeah, you have to actually, because some of my instructors tell me, you're graduating, who continue this you're doing, who continue your egg, you will leave a big vacuum. Because if you tick a lot of boxes and you feel a lot of things that people don't know how to do, at this stage, one student, Biokisi, once told me that he's the on-site VP, you should be giving back at this point. I feel you have lots of things to do for people to learn. And if you just go like that and you don't, and that's why this semester, basically channel all my energy to mentoring and guidance. Like masterclass today, and I lead in different clubs, poetry club and the vice president. I organized. Okay, none of you participated in the PSC X public speaking debates. Sorry, public speaking X poetry.
I think she was an ambassador for
No, don't the debate. There was a poetry session. Okay. So I was one there. Oh yeah, you went around. I was one there managed the rehearsals, made sure everyone was doing their part, came early. And I've just been seeing that there's and people come and meet me, Akachukwu, how do I do this? How do I do that? This one, that one. And I'm like, probably, maybe in future, when they're excelling in this area, like, I think I have a lot of credit to give to Akachukwu, and some text I received, like someone told me, this opportunity you gave me has been the best ever decision I've made in AUN. And I see such messages, and like, so this is really beyond you, you're doing something greater than you. And it's very, very grounding. It's that thing that grounds me now. The fact that I'm leaving an impact in people's lives.
That's good.
Sensational.
Awkward pause.
Naomi, do you want to go? Who wants to go next?
Naomi,
go next. You've been quiet.
Give me a second. 2 seconds. Maybe I would ask, speaking about grounding.
Should I?
Yeah, you should.
Okay. So, is there any particular moment in this year that you felt you were reinventing yourself?
Reinventing? What does reinventing mean in this context?
Like trying to change a thing about yourself or be more than you were. A better version of you.
Well, should I just use personal brand, like social media, basically? I'm trying to like leave and then some days ago I should know in my Instagram, I'm like, what does this give? Like someone that likes capturing moments and telling stories. Other people might be experiencing this, but they will be documenting like you. So I just think social media is very powerful. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to put myself out there very well as an authority in communication and business, so that it's very easy for me to get opportunities. When I taught the last public speaking club class, something I felt I should have talked about but I didn't. Positioning. Strategic positioning yourself for opportunities by the things you do and capturing them professionally. So I think that's one way I'm trying to reinvent myself. Everything I produce should be actually like good quality, strong in a very, very, very particular subject, very detailed with the words I use, the quality, the confidence. Like it just gives this guy knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
My next question is definitely going to be about complacency and contentment. When you're doing so much to achieve so much, how do you draw the line? How do you differentiate between, okay, it's enough, I should stop here, and making sure that you're not just being complacent at the same time in certain situations?
How to draw the line between being complacent and being
over-ambitious.
Over-ambitious.
And how to create that balance, if looking for a better word.
That's a very good question. Because like I'm always like pressing accelerator. I'm always stepping on it. And I feel other around me should actually hit it hard too.